Hello, I'm Anna, the milliner behind the Hat Junkie in beautiful Lunenburg, Nova Scotia. Thanks for spending a little of your time with me. You can see my work at hatjunkie.com and you can find me on social media at the Hat Junkie. Hello, just sitting having another cup of coffee, something I told myself I was not going to do. But here we go in my beautiful Joan Bruno mug. And I'm just finishing up knitting a beret that I will then felt. So I thought I'd just chat with you and let you know a little bit about what's been going on in my life. I have been getting out into the world, which is kind of a new development for me. My son went to university this year. He's just finished his first year after a gap year. And my sweet dog passed away about 6 weeks ago. And suddenly I find myself with the ability to leave the house. Maybe I had the ability before, but it felt harder, especially as my dog got older. So, let's see if I can talk and chew gum at the same time. So I have been heading into Halifax. I did one time a couple weeks ago, and I'm going again this Saturday morning to do the Halifax Brewery Market, which is such a wonderful community market, and I did really well there. So yeah, it was very encouraging to sell several hats and get some orders and chit chat with a lot of nice people. And yeah, that's kind of something I've been just aware of, being in Lunenburg. It's such a dreamy little town to live in. And in the summer we do get tourists quite a lot, and into the fall too. But in the winter it's quite quiet, so I have to go out to the people now. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing. And of course, now that I got myself out in the world, and I've also I taught a workshop last weekend, a straw hat making workshop, and that was really fun. So nice to have these. It was 4 registered, but only 3 made it. You know, come spend a Sunday with me, and I'm doing another one next week. So now my energy level has to meet up with my new resolve. So I have found myself a little bit not super well, but I'm getting better now. And I shouldn't be having this cup of coffee, but I am. That's what I do. When I'm not well, I drink all these herbal teas and everything nice and healing, and then as soon as I feel better, I have a cup of coffee. Well, that cup of coffee did absolutely nothing good for me. It's the same every single time. My morning coffee, I love, and I feel good with my morning coffee. It wakes me up and I'm peaceful while drinking it. And then I always want that same experience in the afternoon. And it never really works, but I keep trying, and I don't know. I don't know when I'm going to learn that lesson. So anyways, as you can hear, I'm still a little bit sick. And after that cup of coffee, I could literally feel my throat just like constrict. So I went out into the garden and picked some lemon balm and made a cup of tea. And this is a mug. I have a thing for pottery, handmade ceramics. So this is a mug by a local potter. Her name is Melissa Wenzel. And you can find her pretty regularly at the Lunenburg Farmers Market. And yeah, her business is called Quiet Cricket Pottery. I'll just tell you a little story about lemon balm. I discovered lemon balm when I was in my 20s, and I was in Prague, and I was in a chajovna, which is a tea house, and I had no idea what anything was on the menu, but there was a tea called medunka, or medunkovi chai, and I just ordered it, and it was like this magical experience where I was suddenly so calm. And I was with my first husband, Evgen, at the time, and his mother looked up medunka for me, and the herbal name is Melissa officinalis, and then I discovered that it's commonly called lemon balm. So ever since then, I have had it in my garden, and once you put it in your garden, you will never get rid of it. You can give it to friends. It's like a mint, you know, it's just hardy and it spreads, and I've now put it in a place where it's safe to grow. So I try to like just make it, now it's coming out fresh. I dry it in the winter, and I try to I try to like have like a pot a day where I'll just put herbs in there. Anyways, I feel good when I do that. So yeah, I should learn. I should learn what makes me feel good and actually do that rather than what makes me not feel good. I think I'm kind of like a sprinter. Like I get bursts of energy, and I like that feeling of bursts of energy. So I don't know, like when I'm just going from one thing to another, I'm happy and I feel productive. And then I crash. Yeah. Anyways, pacing myself, it's like we have our lifelong lessons that we just struggle with forever, and that one is mine. How to pace myself, how to put myself out in the world, do markets, and not feel so tired that I'm not functioning. So I'm trying. At 56 years old is my goal. I'm gonna get this before the end of my life, how to pace myself. So anyways, as you can see, I felted my red beret, and I haven't put the flowers on yet, but here's what it looks like after it's felted. There's like a seed, I put some seed stitch stripes in there, so it has just a really subtle texture, and then there's your Latvian braid. I'll put it on my head. It's still a little wet, but it's pretty cute, huh? I do love my berets. I've been making them for years, and I never get tired of it, and I do have a course in it, and a pattern. I think what I'm working on is trying to release the pattern. Trying to release the pattern by itself, but it will need, there's so many steps in making the flowers that are, you know, not as easily explained in just words. So I highly recommend the course, but I understand if some people, you know, might not want to pay for the course. So I'm trying to take photographs and put that in my pattern. And here is what, this is a pre-felted one. I haven't even woven in the ends yet, but just you can see a before and after. It's really big and goomy looking, and then once it's felted, it's just got this wonderful fuzzy quality and nice and tight and very water resistant and windproof. It's thick, it's like it holds its shape, and right now it's super fuzzy. I'm going to defuzz that pretty soon. I wanted to show you also another pre-felted. This is another hat I've been working on, and this is just a seed stitch hood. So what I'm doing is I'm like making, in millinery and hat making, when you're felting, you often start from a hood. So you buy a commercially made felt hood. It's literally felted into this shape, but I really love what it looks like, and what it feels like when it's been knit first. And it gives it a little bit of stretch even after it's felted. And then I can make it my own colors, and which I suppose you could do with a commercial felt too. And I can use Canadian wool and different breeds. This is Dorset, so it's just to me a little more special. And this is what that hat looks like after it's been felted and shaped. So there's before and there's after. So this will be my next endeavor for writing out the pattern and maybe a course. It's cute, isn't it? I always think my hats are cute. And then, yeah, look at these sweet little, I guess they're violets. I do them in different colors, so I never know whether I can call them violets, but violet-ish little felt flowers. And yeah, the edging. This one was actually naturally dyed with cochineal. And yeah, I don't know if you can tell, but it's not a pure gray. There's a little bit of green in here. And so what I've been doing is when I dye like an intense color like this, there's often a little bit of dye left in the water. So then I'll take another skein of yarn and I'll exhaust it so that the water's absolutely clear before I dispose of it. And yeah. And then there's a couple more things I wanted to share with you. One is this hat. I have actually written out the pattern for this. I have to do the layout. I'm really slow when it comes to writing patterns. There's just so many things to do, and sometimes I have to focus on the known things that I can make a living at. But yeah, this is hand spun yarn, and then I've been very into just making things out of little bits of yarn. It's just what happens when you've been knitting for a long time. All knitters know this, is you end up amassing so many scraps of yarn, and so I've been really trying to figure out ways to use it up. So this is my little log cabin hat. It's got these cute cables. I have to tighten this. This does seem to happen. If anybody knows a solution, I find like I'll put a pom-pom on and it's nice and snug, and then over time it kind of loosens up like this, but maybe I might have seen sewing it through a button. That might be it actually. So So it's not just in one spot, but in several spots. Anyways, I do love this hat. And then the last thing, well, second to last thing, I made this little bag. The pattern is by a woman. Her business is Sotak, S-O-T-A-K, handmade. You can find her on Instagram. And again, I'm just like into using up little scraps. I would never make this bag to sell. It took forever, forever, and it doesn't look like it took forever, so it's hard to price those kind of things. Oh, I guess I'm on a scrappy theme because, yeah, these are my little scrappy socks I'm working on. And I've knit them toe up, which might just be my new favorite way to knit socks. I've always knit, what do you call it, top down? But since learning toe up by Andrea Mowry's Bear Paw socks, which are her like thicker version of her DRK everyday socks, I just got obsessed with that toe up. I love the little, it's called a Turkish cast on. So you cast on at the toe and it makes this kind of seamless toe, so you don't have to kitchen or stitch, and it's fun. It's just fun. So yeah, I've been using up these little scraps, and yeah, here's I'm this far on my second one. So now it's just icing on the cake. Yeah, I did a short row heel. It's a wrap and turn short row. So yeah, that's what I've got to share with you for now.